Favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath. You heard.
She has been in this coding, Future City, and so many of them for years, and it's just her passion to see that the young ones get to know what is happening in our climate, you know. So at this juncture, I want us to rise and we'll take the opening prayer. And the opening prayer is nothing but the second stanza of the national anthem. Can we rise, please? Amen. Thank you for that. Can we have our seats? I want to call again and introduce Mr. Suleiman Kolo, representative from the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, to come forward to the front, sir. Thank you so much. I've talked about the Future City while we are here, so the opening remark is going to come from the CEO of the C Foundation, so that she tells us what we are doing today.
We thought our program would have been progressive because last year we had NTA here. In fact, this program, when we finished it, it was aired during the international program in Washington. But this year we're not seeing anybody, but I hope that this cameraman will be able to do a good one this year. And we also have the recommendation from, I think we also had somebody from Works and Housing. So I must commend, yes, last year we had a representative from Works and Housing. We must commend them. Please give them more. We're the future, and we expect that our ladies and ministry will be there to see what we are soon becoming. And also we have the Mandatory to this for each program. I just want to appreciate you all and then move on to what the business of the day is. Future City, what is it about? Future City starts with a question. It says, how can we make the world a better place? That's the question we are here to answer. Is it not true? Yeah. Yes, we can see that all our teams are with a unique solution to building a city in the future. So we said, to answer this question, we have the 6th grade, the 7th grade, and the 8th graders students. They will imagine, they will research, they will design, and they will build cities of the future that showcase their solution to a city with sustainability issues. So we don't want a city that we start today, we have electricity tomorrow, and then next tomorrow there is no electricity. We want a sustainable city. So past topics of the future city, we have a lot of other, we have looked at agriculture, we have looked at public places, we have looked at green energy, and this year, the theme for the year is powering our future. So teams will design a resilient power state grid for their future, and that will withstand and quickly recover from impacts of a natural disaster. They will complete 5 deliverables, meaning that they will be looking at a virtual city design. They will use a SimCity, a software. Then they are going to write an essay of 1,500 words essay, and then they will scale their model, which is what we have seen all around, a scaled model built from recycled materials. And then we have a project plan, and then we have a presentation to the judges at the regional competition. And so that is what we're going to be having and seeing soon. Finals of this competition are supposed to go to Washington, but we can even hardly find the guests we have invited. Talk more of being able to get the finances we need to send these children to Washington. But we hope that we'll continue to do it, at least apart from the Washington visit. The impact, what we see that the positive impact upon the children is what is the first thing that we'll consider as Odyssey Educational Foundation to even go into this, not about the Washington, the DC visit. So this program, it's also, the Future City is an engaging way where students will build the 21st century skills. They are supposed to apply maths and science concepts to real-world problems. They will be developing and writing a public speaking and problem solving and time management, because we have, during their presentation, it's 7 minutes. So after that, so they will learn how to manage their time. They will also discover different types of engineering and explore career options. They will also learn how their communities work and become better citizens of their community, and they will develop strong time management and project management skills. I have it that rumors have brought it to my ears that the people in this hall are the world changers. Is it true?
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes.
So that rumor was true?
Yes.
Wow. So we're sure that we're working with the future changers of this world. And I assure you guys that we are ready to change the world. We too at Odyssey, we want to change the world. So I'll be handing over the microphone to the MC to do her job. You know me, you saw how I was getting in front of the microphone.
Stand up and just give us a wow shout. I'll start with the last one, Team Glorious. Wow, you don't say something, you know? You don't have anything to say? Team Glorious? Yeah, or something. So that is your present. Team Technomoto. Technomoto. They want to take over Techno, sir. Team Dupe. Thank you. Team Solar Power. Team Solar Power. Yeah, yes, or something. Team Diamond. Team Dalford. Dalford team. Team Dalford. Thank you for coming. Dalford, in one sentence, what are we expecting to see from you?
You will see a city that really powers the future.
A city that really powers the future. Is a city going to hand on power? Is it going to hand or? I'm just kidding. So what are we expecting from your team? Somebody should say something. Oh yeah.
Safe, clean, and constant power.
Safe, clean, and constant power. Oh, I love that. That means I have security. That means my environment is clean. And that means I can go home sleeping, knowing full well that there is power in the house. What are we expecting from your team?
To stop the emission of greenhouse gases and ensure clean and safe power for people in our city.
Make sure there is safe power and clean environment, no emission of gases. So I mean, I'm sure the industries are complying with the carbon. That's good. Thank you. What are we expecting from your team?
The prevention of that disaster and bringing power generation.
Oh, prevention of disaster. So that means you have a lot of security apparatus in place. That's good. So what are we expecting from your team?
A city that can prevent natural disaster.
A city that can prevent. So if tsunami comes now, you want it your city. Wonderful. I like that too. Mothers and daddies, you can hear a city that can prevent natural disaster. That's good. So what are we expecting from the team? Lawyers? Okay, sorry. Okay, you guys are together. Okay. So I'm going to Team Glorious now to know what. Team Glorious, you have 2 minutes to get your listening set, please. You can't wait. I told you to come downstairs earlier. Wonderful. 3247 power supply. I hope it's not only power supply, you have seen other things. Okay.
this competition Future City has really impacted me because actually, we have to make a city that has a resilient power grid which can withstand natural disasters or can recover fast. So this is something we never thought about. But after hearing about the topic, we think on our own. Even without research, we could use our IQ to think. And it's something new. Please improve one's life.
Thank you. How did it?
To be taught in school and to make the world a better place by using our brains. Because if you keep on researching and researching, you won't be able to think. Because those people that posted that thing online, they thought about it before they posted it. So we are trying to use our own thinking to form anything.
We're trying to use our own thinking to form something new that Nigeria will benefit from. So, Lillian, tell me, how did this program impact on you and how is it impacting?
This program impacts on me because before I'm not that good at technology. I don't like anything maths, all this engineering stuff, all these wires, everything. But when I heard about this from my friends, I was like, oh, let me try it. So now I can have confidence to do what I want. Now in my house, anything that got spoiled, I can try to, repair it and then it works. So this program gives me courage, confidence to bring out my talents.
So tell me the impact of this competition on you students. Can I see you last name? What has this competition, going about it from beginning up until now, what has it done to you? Teamwork, that's good. It has helped him in teamwork to know that he cannot do it alone. He needs everybody to come together to get this job done. What else?
Looks like an architectural work.
Okay, so are you now thinking of going into architecture?
Yes.
Wonderful. Because of this only. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's clap for him. You have something to say?
As my friend have said, before now, I didn't really fancy the idea of working with them. But because we have come together, we have worked together, we have brainstormed together to go to our outcome. So as I said, then creativity. We need to, it's a game of the mind, yes, we have to think. So that's helped us to create. That's why I love the idea of Future City.
So you love the idea of Future City, so that means we're going to see you here next year competition? Yes? Why? You won't come here, you will have graduated. Oh, don't worry. Future City is continuous, even if you graduate. As an architect, you continue drawing, don't you? Yes. So for those of us that want to be architects, kudos to you. So what is the impact of future cities in your life? Anybody?
It has helped me in technology and things that I didn't know how to do before. It has helped me.
You mentioned this technology. Tell me which one.
Like joining of things together, making things that you didn't know how to make before. I've learned how to do some of these things now.
So tell me the one you've done.
Like making buildings. Yes.
What did you use?
You can use things like a carton, a cardboard paper.
So you're going to design one big office for me. Let me know where my future office is going to be, right? Okay, tell me the impact of future cities in your life. That inspired you. So inspired you to do what?
To do more.
More.
Like I cannot do.
Okay. It has inspired you, my judges are ready, so I'll soon call them up. Hey, I saw you last year. Good. It taught him how to use disposable items to reuse them instead of wasting them and causing menace in the society. That's a good one.
Actually, it taught me that we don't need to buy the things. Things are around. We can make it, some can recycle it, and then we can build it. And also, it taught me that you don't have to rely on somebody else, you can rely on yourself. With our skills, with our characters and all these things, we're not dumb enough not to know that disposable things also can be used. Take example of bottles. Some people they throw away bottles, while others carry it and make all these canoes over there, use it for their life. Others, if you go to their place, they sell it for you 70 naira. We're supposed to use our sense because we're not dumb and we're not mad. We're supposed to be smart in what we do. This teaches me that we don't have to rely on somebody else, we can do it ourselves. And this, not only that it taught me that we can do it by ourselves, but also it taught me that it gave me, like, made me to know my skills. Today I said I want to be a musician, but tomorrow I think I'm going to be a great engineer.
Thank you. She's going to be an engineer because of the skills she has acquired in the process of working with future cities. Is from here, Raw Materials Research and Development. Thank you so much. Thank you. Then we have the lady amongst them, Engineer Amina Malik. She's from here as well. We have Mr. Jabba Olorunde. Thank you so much, sir. And Joy Philip, she'll be the one to collect the results. So, please, can you stand up and join the people over there? So, having said that, breathe in, out. You know your time, 7 minutes. Each team has 7 minutes to present their future city. Solar power. Representative of solar power. Oh, that's my girl. The guys in the house, please, can you help us, please? Those at the back, please, I'm begging you. What's that, my brother's name? The one in white. Just stick it here. Down. The table is done much. We don't have a table. One material, no one give us table. What did you do to me? Where is the other? We can't start until we come. So, breathing out. Hand down. You can see lights. So it's solar minute. Solar power meets all the requirements. I'm sure our representative from Ministry of Power will present it to Minister Fashola to approve. And if it doesn't meet, maybe we'll carry it to Kuchingoro. So we're waiting for the team lead, for the judge, the leader of the judges.
Co-presenters and my audience, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kibu Deborah Ashezi. I'm here with me Tara A. We are from Junior Secondary School, Guayaba, and we are here to tell you all about our city.
Our city is located in the middle belt of the north-central region of Nigeria. Waterville City is a master plan for technological innovation and ambition, which was designed by us in year 2046, and it will increase and it will expand twice in 2056, which is 10 years time.
Our city area is 10,899 kilometers, also with an estimated population of 1 million people. 60% for able young men and women that will be able to to drive the technological and economic aspect in our city. Also, 3% are for male, and also we have 21% for the senior citizens which are above 50 years. We also have 19% for children below 18 years. In our city also, we have the residential, we have our seaport, we have our church and mosques, we have our airport, we also have our commercial area. And in all this, it can't do without electricity. That's why we created a water wheel that will be able to transfer electricity through our city, in our city infrastructures. These are part of our city infrastructure, like our seaport. We have roads, we have our buildings, our cars move on the road, our airport that will be able to transport people around our city. All this do with electricity, as our electricity is gotten from both hydro and solar. Hydro in the sense that we use water, and in that water it has a wheel. The water pump use solar energy to transfer the the electricity to the city. How it works. Now, in the water, we have a turbine, that's our wheel. As the water is moving, it moves from tank A to tank B. And when it's moving, it is moving in circles. So as it's moving in circles, it is hitting that wheel and it is creating heat. And this water cannot just flow. It has this, as this solar panel is charging, it is giving space inside it's powering the wheel, and also the wheel, and also it's powering the wheel, and also the road in which the water passes to hit the wheel. And while it will hit, it creates heat, and that heat creates the electricity we have in our city. Now we are going to tell you about the problems.
Just as every other city in Nigeria has its problem, our city has its own solution. Some problems are flood, poverty, unemployment, land pollution, water pollution, air pollution, and also sound pollution.
Our energy in the Nigerian energy, they use hydro, and that hydro power is not even capable to charge to create electricity, to give stable electricity in our city. So us, we use renewable energy created from recyclable materials to charge our city. Now our light is constant, and people in our city are enjoying it. These are our commercial areas. We created roads to give space for ventilation, because we cannot live in a place that there's no oxygen for them to breathe. Also, we have hospitals if there are problems, police stations, fire service, and also we have a monument here to show what is going on in our city. Like, this is a wheel. We put it in the middle to show you that our city has to do with electricity. Also, we have our seaport, our airport, and this is a bridge that leads to the commercial, to the industrial, and the industrial to the commercial area. This seaport, if we like import goods, we need to take it from the seaport to the airport. The airport can take it to where we need it to be, and to transfer it to the industries. And when it gets to the industries will be able to give it to commercial area. That is easy movement of goods. There will not be congestion on the road, and people there will be serene peace. In this residential area, you can see this is a park where people will go relax and enjoy themselves. They can even go for sightseeing to look at the seaport we have. Also, we have schools for students to study. Unlike maybe other cities now, they don't have schools. In some cities now, maybe they are just trying to develop schools. Government are trying to still find out which city does not have school. But in our city, we have schools that students to be able to go and learn, so that they'll be able to drive the technological things that we have in our city. Also, our city is located at longitude 08 degree 10, and also north, and also latitude 08 degree 11 and 10 degree 26 east. Also, our city, we have our commercial areas. We have a car park in our commercial area. This is it. When you come, you park your car and enter for easy movement to buy your things, and then you go back to your houses. Also, we have an entrance to our city. This is the entrance to our city. In our city, we have things we use for transportation, which are motorbikes, cars, airplane. Now, in our city, we have houses, we have police station for safety. We also installed cameras in our artificial dam, which we created for the making of our electricity, so that whenever there is a problem, we'll be able to repair it before it affects our city. That way our city will not go down. Instead, it will keep on upgrading.
In an attempt to make our city better, we have a water wheel over here that connects to our solar and it spreads to the other people living in the society.
We named our city after its source of power generation, which is mostly solar-powered water wheel and hydroelectricity.
And we hope that this solution we have created for our city will enable Nigeria to grow better and have stable electricity. Thank you.
Techno Moto. Please, can you carry your city? Uncle, help us with Techno Moto. Where's your you have to help us.
Oh, you're going to have one of these for each of you. Yes, sir. Yes.
Judges, are we set?
Yes.
Techno Moto is before you in their future city, and your time starts. I'll tell you. Now.
Good day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are the Crystallite Conference City team from Junior Secondary School at Abuja. My name is Yahya and I'm presenting with me
Raymond Manuela.
Awal Tiny. I'll give you this one. The name of our city is Techmoto. The reason why I picked Techmoto can be defined as a combination of technology and engineering. Firstly, we like to define technology. Technology can be defined as the use of available materials to produce the basic needs of humanity. Example, food, shelter, communication, transportation, etc. The opportunities you can get in technology can be craftsman, engineering, statistics, etc. Engineering can be defined as
Engineering is the creative application of science, mathematical method, and elementary evidence for innovation. Types of engineering: we have civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and computer engineering. Who is an engineer? An engineer is a person who uses creative application for useful things to make his future bright.
what is a solar panel? A solar panel is an item that generates the power of the sun to give electricity to a city. How to solve the problems of a solar panel like rainy days and clouds? Rainy days, a solar panel can have a glass roof to protect it from rain, because rain can damage a solar panel. Clouds, a solar panel can have a backup battery. Also, if you are using a solar panel, let's take an example. Throughout that day, it's raining, it's cloudy. You can use windmill to like help you to generate light to your city. We like to explain our city. There's not much in our city because we didn't know actually the time that the program was going to take place. Here we have a city that can withstand any natural disaster, and this city is powered by a solar panel. And I'm here to also explain energy. Energy is the ability or capacity of a person to do work. Without work, the engineers will not be able to find the energy to do this project. Now, I'm here to talk about our project. Our project, like we said, the reason why we choose the name Techmoto is because we want to combine technology and engineering. So, the engineers, they made this city with solar and also with hydropower. And this city can withstand any natural disasters that can take place within and outside the country.
The reason why I put everything here in one house is because in case of fire hazard, it's not going to endanger the people's life, and this particular house is going to, the light is connected to all the cities, so, and the wind too is here, and the solar panel is here, so that nobody is going to tamper with it, and there's not going to be any fire hazard.
Also, we use carbon paper. We also use cartons. We use spray paint to spray the road. Also, we use white cardboard paper to design the road. We got some toy cars, used ones that people have already used. Also, we didn't only choose technology because of Techmoto, we chose it because we thought it would be the best name for our team. We didn't only do this together, but to connect solar panel to to the house, you have to use inverter. What we did was we got some of the things from inverter and wires to connect it to our city to make it more local.
Okay, just the two of you.
Good morning, the coordinator of Future City Regional Competition, panel of judges, timekeeper, and of course my beautiful audience. My name is Samadina Fortuna, and with me are
An angel Chukudi Dennis.
The city is located at the heart of Nigeria. This Belfort city is not only known for its resilient power grid and for every other thing it is, but also known for its quick emergency response and high security. The city consists of both commercial and residential buildings, and most of its buildings and infrastructures have been built in a round arrangement in order to withstand the effect of a natural disaster like a hurricane. Cars are no longer powered by fossil fuels due to the gases they emit. Instead, they are powered by an EV charging station which produces clean energy.
Belfort City is not only known for its resilient power grid, but also for its water security. It also helps in the fire services. The fire service of this city have planted fire hydrants all around the city where it is needed. Like, for example, if there's a fire outbreak at the city hospital, this fire hydrant sprays splashes of water before this fire service reach the scene.
Okay, to the main primary objectives of this competition is to build a resilient power grid. So what we actually did is to think out of the box and bring out something new that will be very, very resilient. So now we have this a space-based power grid. So now, if you look at this drawing here, this is a satellite, it's a form of satellite. So this satellite is numbered, and this is what actually gives the energy. Now, this is all three basic sources of energy in one place, which makes it much more compatible, accessible. If you look at this building, this is what you see here. So we are trying to make an example of what we're trying to say here. Now, if you look at this part here, this is the solar panel. So now, what this satellite does is, all these circle parts are convex lenses. So it directs sunlight to the very start part. And if this is 1 and that place is 1, it will be registered as 1, then you direct the sunlight to this part, then you charge this cobalt battery part. So here is the plug where you receive your electricity. And this is for the water hydro energy. So what this thing does is, when water passes through, it slides down. The slightest movement causes heat generation, which charges this cobalt battery. And this part is the wind vane, which means the slightest movement of air will cause it to rotate. And when it rotates, so this part, the slightest movement of air will cause it to rotate. And now, in other words, this source of energy works with the weather. And now, what makes it more resilient and indestructible is that for the part that tornadoes, like tornadoes are made of air, mostly they are air, and hurricanes are air. So now what we have is a resilient power grid, because what it does is there's a wind gauge here that detects air, high pressure wind, and when it detects this, it takes off to a very safe place. And how does it do that? Is when it detects high wind pressure, it initiates a camera that secures and looks left and right to make sure that this is a volcano or a hurricane and anything, whatever it is. If it's a natural disaster, if you take off to a safe place, then because it is registered to a building, if this is one, it's registered to a building, when it flies anywhere, this satellite will help it to know where its actual position is, because it is only registered to a building. So when it flies out, it returns back where it is safe to land there.
What kind of natural disasters do we expect in our city? We expect a tornado. A tornado is a high storm which comes from the air, from the sky, and hits the ground.
A hurricane. A hurricane is a strong storm followed by violent wind.
So if you look closely, each building here has this space-based power grid. So in one way it is very accessible, even in rural areas where they have no connection or anything. If you just bring this port and insert it here, as long as it is registered, wherever you are, you always get electricity that will power you. And this will use 250 volts maximum because it is made out of cobalt component. And cobalt can be easily recharged through heat. Thank you very much. City.
City, the power of future.
Which is focused on generating electricity through the wind. The estimated population of people in Glorious City is 1.2 million. Then 1.2 million people. And the city has two weather conditions, the rainy season and the dry season.
The primary sources of transportation in our city is cable and automated cars. And our city has made provision for easy and quick transportation services to the disabled.
Our city has all the necessary social amenities the future city requires. It has a steady electricity from the wind. It also has steady electricity from the wind. It has efficient educational facilities. It has hospitals, and it also has machines that can be used to treat ourselves without necessarily going to the hospital.
The automated cars in our city, automated cars are one of the greatest innovations in our city. They are driverless cars. There are various mechanisms we work in conjunction to power the automated cars, such as radar sensors which are dotted around the cars to monitor the positions of cars, like ultrasonic sensors which are positioned at the wheels to detect, which are positioned at the wheels to help, which are positioned at the wheels. They are used to detect curbs, and they are also used when parking. The LiDAR sensors, which are used to detect marking of the road and other obstacles, marking on the road and
other obstacles on the road. The reason why we use automated cars is that it helps in problem of spacing. As you can see, our city is well spaced, and also it's the parking system that is also part of the spacing. And automated cars can help the disabled and the elderly people in our society who can no longer drive and they need to hire drivers. The automated cars aid them. Many years back, our city suffered from unsteady power supply when we used hydro electricity. So that made us use wind to power our electricity. The wind, in order for you to use wind to power electricity, you must have your turbines. And there are basically two types of turbines in use: the horizontal axis wind turbine and the vertical axis wind turbine. And when the wind begins to blow, the turbine collects the wind and passes it to the generator. The generator generates power from the wind and sends it to the transformer. Transformer now distributes it to the grid and the houses here. The reason why we use wind is that it's a clean source of fuel. It doesn't emit smoke and other things. Then it is sustainable, yes. That, as the theme implies, powering our future. With wind, we are never bothered about lack of electricity because it's a renewable energy source. It is sustainable, it must be there. Then it is a domestic source of energy. You can get it everywhere. Wind, even as we are here, there's wind. It's a domestic source of energy. Those are the reasons why we use wind as a source of energy, electricity. Our city has all the facilities we need. Our hospitals here are built to standard. Our school, as you can see, can meet the standard of the best schools in the world for a city. That's why we are going to produce brilliant students who can do better than this. Then here our mall. This is our mall where we come and shop and do the needful to satisfy our natural needs. Then here is supposed to be our recreational center, but we're not through due to time. And here also is supposed to be how we generate the wind to produce electricity. Our city, glorious city, has improved over the years. Our city, glorious city, has helped the life of commuters because of the use of automated cars and cable cars. Has also helped the constant electricity supply through the use of the grid. Thank you.
Thank you, glorious city. Gloriously carry your city. Therefore, they will tell us why their city is named Diamond. Thank you, sir. Set it. I'll tell you when to. Judges, this Diamond, I present to you Team Diamond.
Now, good day, panel of judges. I thank you, sir, and my fellow collaborators, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lillian Daniel, and with me is Opala Sharon.
Daniel Khan.
This is Diamond City. Diamond City is a beautiful and vibrant city with a population of 2.7 million people. Diamondville City is one of the richest cities in Africa because of its well-known constant power. Diamondville City has a good educational system which is provided by a government named Education is Power. This government provides good system of education freely for every child for 6 years. This city comprises of three main parts: residential area, commercial area, and industrial areas. Here is the industrial area, the commercial area, and the residential area. In this city, we have the school, the church, the mosque, and so on, and the rest of it. In this, we are solving the problem of power. Power is the main source of our living. We use power for everything. We use power to conduct our schools. We need power to conduct our railway station. We need power to do most of the things in our city.
Electricity is a major factor in economic growth. That's why Diamondville has made electricity one of our priorities. Countries like Nigeria, Tanzania, Chad, etc. have little access to electricity, and if you check their level of economic growth, it cannot be compared with countries with strong electricity supply. Diamondville City is designed to have two power sources because the industrial area is known to consume more electricity than the residential and the commercial area put together. The residential and commercial area will use EWT, electromagnetic wind turbines, where the industrial area will use biomass to energy electricity.
EWT, electromagnetic wind turbines. Here are things we make as science for EWT, electromagnetic wind turbines. This works through the use of large wind turbines. Wind is used as a mechanical power, as you know. As the wind passes through, the blade of the wind turbines moves, connecting to the shaft. The shaft is connected to the generator, and generator uses the moving motion of the shaft to rotate the rotor. The rotor is the main source connected to the generator also to make it work. And as you know, wind is not constant. it may be slow, it may be slow or fast. So to eliminate low electricity current in our city, we made inverters to store power, so the power will be constant.
In our city, we have a company called Dubai, which stands for Diamonds Biomass to Energy Company. In this company, we take waste from the society and turn it into renewable energy. In this company, we employ a minimum of 100 people every month to pick the waste materials from the city. This will reduce unemployment in our society. Speaking of transportation, our city will use solar means of transportation. We have solar rail and we have solar cars. The train and the cars will have solar panels on it. Even if it's raining or it's cloudy, our cars use ultraviolet rays to power them, which comes from the sun. Our city, with all our clean, safe and renewable energy, is one of the best cities in Africa.
To make the city more sweet and beautiful, we have a residential area one side and industry another side. Because industry, when they are processing raw materials into finished goods, smoke goes up, and to control the smoke, we have what sucks the smoke not to affect the commercial areas. And we have the commercial areas one side and the residential, and there's a railway that connects through to the industry to move goods from industry to commercial areas.